What's up, guys? We're back here. All right, so Ben Simmons, a lot of Sacramento Kings favorite players now. Ben Simmons is still available, apparently, but it's come out that the Sixers have offered him help for his mental issues, and he has refused it. Daryl Morey reached out again to Ben Simmons yesterday, and Ben Simmons said that he is not ready to play mentally, and he's not accepting any of the help that they're offering him. So how do you feel about this situation, and where do you see this thing going?
This situation's a mess. It's been a mess for a while. I don't know who's necessarily more to blame or how it really got to this point. How do I see it playing out? He's not going to play again for Philadelphia. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. No matter how much they talk to him, they try to give him help, mental help, physical help, whatever the case may be. They've already given him plenty of financial help.
Yeah.
Right? So in my opinion, he doesn't play for Philadelphia ever again. So the question becomes, when do they trade him? Do they trade him before the deadline? What are they willing to get back in return? How much of a, decreased level package from what they originally wanted, which we all know was probably too much, but that's how you are a good negotiator, right? You ask for too much and then you slowly whittle it down until you find something you're happy with. How happy are they going to be at this point? That's the question. This has gone on for so long. Now you're adding mental health and the fact that he says he's not ready to play basketball mentally. That doesn't make me want to trade for him if I'm another team.
Yep.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. All I can say is that I'm pretty confident he doesn't play for Philadelphia ever again.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan, Rashawn Holmes got ejected in the third quarter for throwing his headband. And Progressive G, yes, there will be a play-in tournament this year, so that helps the Kings slots. So back to Ben Simmons. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. We're going to talk about the Jazz game here in a second, but halfway through that Jazz game, De'Aaron Fox was 0 for 8 with 0 points. I was like, oh, man, is this going to continue to go? And De'Aaron Fox is going to end up getting traded for Ben Simmons. Like, he just, for himself, he needs to play a little bit better or just make some shots because the noise is getting louder and louder. I'm glad De'Aaron had a good bounce-back game tonight. It helps give a lot of fans hope, especially people like me. But, yeah, it's unfortunate about this Ben Simmons thing. I think you're totally right. He's not going to play for Philadelphia anymore. He's going to say whatever it takes to get out of there. It's just going to come down to whether the Sixers and Daryl Morey are willing to accept less and what exactly they are willing to accept.
Yeah.
The longer this goes.
At this point, I don't even know how much, I don't want this to come off the wrong way. Mental health is a very big deal. But I don't even know how much mental issues he's really struggling with at this point. I felt like when he came out and said that initially, that was more of a ploy to say, okay, well, I did what you wanted. I came back to the facility.
Yep.
But now I'm using this as an excuse not to show up to practice and not to play in games.
And I still want to get paid.
And I think I have to agree with that even more when the team offers you mental help and you refused to talk to the team doctors. So who knows? Only Ben Simmons knows what's going on in his head.
And Rich Paul.
I hope he's got some people close to him that are trying to keep a level head on him and have him make the right decisions. But yeah, it's not Philadelphia's got to cut their losses. I really believe that.
Yeah, and it's crazy thinking about how much talent Philadelphia had on their team, how many draft picks that they had, and they ended up botching the situation with Markelle Fultz.
Mm-hmm.
They traded up to get him. He had issues. Then they ended up to cut their losses, get rid of him.
Traded Jimmy Butler after 1 year.
Yeah. Or no, they let him go in free agency, right?
He
he signed with the Heat.
He was a free agent?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if they have to end up cutting their losses here again with Ben Simmons, that shows that you pretty much got Embiid out of the rebuild process. Embiid and maybe Tobias Harris.
But the craziest part about all that is they're still a good team.
Yeah.
They just beat the Bulls tonight.
Yeah.
They're 6-2 on the year. They're right up there at the top of the Eastern Conference again. Tyrese Maxey's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Curry has really, really found a nice home for himself there in Philadelphia. So they're still a good team, despite losing all those guys. Jimmy Butler, potentially Ben Simmons. I mean, they pretty much have lost him at this point. Yep. But
you need to add something to that team, because otherwise guys like Embiid are just going to get frustrated and upset with the GM saying, listen, this guy Ben, he does not want to be here. We know this. Bring me something. Give me something. Him sitting on the bench is not helping the team at all. Not at all. All right, and rant. Let us know how you guys feel about Ben Simmons in the chat. It's a confusing issue, and Calvin and I don't want to take light mental health, because that is just so many different possibilities and things, and it's a very tricky subject. So good luck, Ben. All right,